We're in a time where I just feel we have such a great opportunity for uncomfortable conversations. And I'm actually honestly really grateful for how many places have opened up for that conversation. How many people, like similar to April, who are like, I'm really frustrated, but have been gracious in opening up to
Mm-hmm.
conversations, even through the
Mm-hmm.
frustration. I feel that, I feel like it's a miss if we just get upset, like, oh, well, so and so is frustrated. I'm like, well, do you blame? Like, how do you blame somebody for being frustrated? I don't blame them either, right? So I get it. I get the frustration around it. I'm also very appreciative of the open spaces that have been created for conversation, because I think in the end, those of us who have like a similar heart are looking for, like, where do we go from here? Like, how do we get
Mm-hmm.
past just being here, having done a lot of talking, and then we
What's
close the
next?
drawer, right? The door
Mm-hmm.
is closed, and then what? How many years later we again? I feel like that's the opportunity, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
it'll be missed if we don't actually. That's why for me, I'm like, what's the action? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where do you take this? Like, to your point, what's next with this individually, right? There's individual, there's going to be a systematic, like there's going to
Mm-hmm.
be, like, it needs to be up here and down here. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be both of
Not
them.
one or the other.
Yeah, it has to be both of them. Um, and it has to be like, folks who are in a place of power. And so when I say that, I'm not saying that every white person is like super power. That's not what I mean. But it's just, I think if you can understand that innately, the way the system has been set up, there's just certain advantages. Like, there's just certain advantages that you have that others don't. If we can't even recognize that, that's going to be problematic, because we need all of us to make the change. You can't just have like
Mm-hmm.
a group of people wanting to do it like that. It doesn't work like that. That's not how systems change. Like, you need more than that to be able to do that. But I feel like it's an important one that I would not want us to miss on, because it actually, think about like future, like there's I'm curious about 20 years from now, the young gen, like the 3, 4, 5 year olds, like what will it look like for them 20 years from? What will they remember? Even like, let's say those who are 10 years, so they'll be 30 years in 20 years. What will their thought have been of what happened here? How will they be different for what has happened during this time? I think those are things that, whether you have kids or not, like, I think it's important to think about, because that's
Mm-hmm.
really in the end what matters. It's not just what we're doing for ourselves at this point. It's kind of like thinking forward as well.